hayaan yung i-share ko sa inyo yung aking presentation. So, ayan, bilang isang employee, no, ang kinikita lang natin is yung ating sweldo, no? Which is yung ang tawag natin dito yung salary, yung ating compensation, ano. So, wherein ito kinakaltasan nga ng tax, no? Bago pa man na ma-receive natin yung ating salary, kinakaltasan na ng withholding tax. Ang basis nga natin dito is yung Revenue Regulation 2-98 and then yung 10-2018 and 10-2008 and ang pinaka-latest is yung 11-2018. Kung mapapansin nyo, parang every 10 years, ano, meron tayong bagong uh, regulation pagdating sa income tax, no, on compensation. So ano ba yung compensation or wages? Ito nga yung ating salary na nare-receive ng isang employee. It means all remuneration for services performed by an employee for his employer under an employee-employer relationship unless exempted by the NIRC and pertinent laws. So ibig sabihin kailangan merong employer-employee relationship para matawag siya na compensation. There are kinds of compensation. Yung tinatawag natin na regular compensation, which includes basic salary, fixed allowances for representation, transportation, and others paid to an employee. So ito yung regular natin na nare-receive. At meron din tayong tinatawag na supplementary compensation, which ito yung mga commissions, overtime pay, fees including director's fees. Itong director fees, pag ang nagbibigay nito employer din, no? Ito yung subject sa compensation, withholding tax on compensation. Pero kung ang magbibigay nito ibang company, let's say hindi yung employer mo, nasa subject ito naman sa expanded withholding tax. And then yung profit sharing, monetization of leave credits, sick leave, fringe benefit received by rank and file employee, hazard pay, taxable 13th month pay. Itong taxable 13th month pay, ito yung in excess of 90,000 threshold na 13th month pay and other benefits. And other remuneration received from an employee-employer relationship. Siyempre, kung merong taxable, meron ding exempt. So, ano naman yung mga exempt sa withholding tax and compensation? The remuneration received as an incident of employment under RA 7641, those with approved reasonable private retirement plan, Social Security Act of 1954 as amended, the GSIS Act of 1937 as amended. Ito yung mga retirement benefit, na nare-receive ng isang employee na nag-retire na, no? Covered siya ng under RA 7641 at saka yung meron mga private retirement plan benefit na approved ng BIR. Remuneration paid for agricultural labor, remuneration for domestic services na kinikita ng ating mga kasambahay, remuneration for casual labor not in the course of an ordinary course of business. Next, compensation for services by a citizen or resident of the Philippines for a foreign government or international organization. Damages, life insurance proceeds, amounts received by the insured as a return of pay of premium, compensation for injuries or sickness, and income exempt under treaty, 13th month pay, and other benefits. Ito nga yung 90,000 na 13th month pay and other benefits. And then the GSIS, SSS, Medicare, and other contributions, employees share only. Compensation income of minimum wage earners who work in the private sector and being paid by the statutory minimum wage as fixed by the Regional Tripartite Wage and Productivity Board, National Wages Productivity Commission, applicable to the place of where he or she is assigned. Pag sinabi natin where he or she is assigned, ito yung mga minimum wage earner na halimbawa ay ikaw ay naka-assign dito sa Metro Manila, no, na ang rate dito sa Metro Manila ay 610 sa ngayon, no. Pero kung ma-assign ka sa ibang region, sa Metro Manila, yung 610 na rate is non-taxable siya, exempt siya, no, kasi yun yung rate, minimum wage rate. Pero kung ikaw ay ma-assign sa ibang region, for example, this region 4, wherein mas mababa yung minimum wage rate doon. So pagdating sa region na yon at hindi naman nagbago yung rate mo, ang rate mo ay rate pa rin ng Metro Manila, magiging taxable ka na. Kasi mas mababa yung rate doon. Compensation income of employees in the public sector with compensation income not more than statutory minimum wage in the non-agricultural sector as fixed by the RTWPB and the NWPC applicable to the place where he or she is assigned. So applicable din ito doon sa mga government employee. Yung rate ngayon na 610 that is equivalent to salary grade 6 step 8 pagdating sa government, no. The minimis benefits enumerated under revenue regulations 5-2011 as amended by RR 8-2012 and RR 11-2018. Range benefit given to employees other than rank and file. Personnel economic relief allowance PERA given to government employees. Representation and transportation allowance granted to public officers and employees under the General Appropriations Act. Compensation during the year not exceeding 250,000 pesos. So ito na yung na-exempt na yung 250,000 pesos. Ito'y na-introduce nung sa train law. Before kasi, no, meron tayong tinatawag na yung personal and additional exemption, di ba? Yung personal exemption natin is 50,000. Mapa-married ka or single, 50,000 yung personal exemption mo. Pero allowed noon yung additional exemption na hanggang 4 qualified dependent. Tapos may every qualified dependent merong additional na 25,000. Kung i-maximize mo yon, yung personal exemption mo plus yung 4 na dependent mo, that is equivalent to 150,000 exemption. So ngayon, mapa-single or mapa-married ka, exempted yung first 250,000 na income. So tumaas siya compared dun sa 150,000. Next, minimum wage earner refers to a worker in the private sector who is paid with the statutory minimum wage rates or to an employee in the public sector with compensation income not more than the statutory minimum wage rates in the non-agricultural sector where the worker employee is assigned. So yung isang minimum wage earner, kapag ito yung kinikita niya, exempt ito sa income tax as well as sa withholding tax. Yung kanyang salary, tapos yung 13th month pay and other benefits na hindi lalagpas sa 90,000, holiday pay, overtime pay, night shift differential pay, and hazard pay earned by MWE. So ibig sabihin, pag yan lang yung kinikita, kanya lang ang kinita ng isang minimum wage earner, lahat kahit magkano pa abutin yan, kahit yan ay lumagpas sa 250,000 na threshold, dahil siya ay minimum wage earner, exempted pa rin yung kanyang kinita. Yan. Provided that an employee who earns additional compensation such as commissions, honoraria, fringe benefits in excess of the allowable statutory amount of 90,000 pesos, taxable allowances and other taxable income other than statutory minimum wage, holiday pay, overtime pay, hazard pay, night shift differential pay is taxable subject to 250,000 threshold. So ganito yan, meron kasi mga employer na nagbibigay ng let's say commissions doon sa kanilang mga employee, lalo na yung involved sa sa sales, kung ikaw ay isang minimum wage earner, sabi ko nga kung kinikita mo lang ay yung sweldo, holiday pay, overtime pay, hazard pay, night shift differential pay, kahit magkano abutin yan, yan ay exempt sa tax, kasi ikaw ay minimum wage earner. Pero kung meron kang commission, let's say, meron kang commission doon sa sales mo, kung yan ay commission mo ay hindi aabot doon sa 250,000 na threshold, wala pa rin tax yun. Although taxable siya, pero kung hindi pa siya aabot doon sa 250,000 na threshold, wala pa rin siyang tax. Unless lumagpas siya doon sa 250,000. Let's say 300 yung iyong commission. So yung 50,000, yun ang makukumpita ng tax. Yun ang may tax, yung excess sa 250,000. Okay? Next, de minimis benefit not subject to withholding tax. First is the monetized unused vacation leave credit sa private employees not exceeding 10 days during the year. So kung meron nito yung isang employee ng private company, nag-monetize siya ng leave credits niya na let's say 15 days, no? Yung 10 days lang ang pwedeng pumasok dito sa de minimis benefits. Yung 10 days lang ang hindi subject sa sa tax. Letter B, monetized value of vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees. Medical cash allowance to dependents of employees not exceeding 1,500 pesos per employee per semester or 250 pesos per month. Rice subsidy of 2,000 pesos or 1 sack of rice. Yan, 2,000 sa rice subsidy, no? Uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 6,000 pesos per annum. Actual medical assistance, medical allowance to cover medical and healthcare needs, annual medical executive checkup, maternity assistance, and routine consultations not exceeding 10,000 pesos per annum. Laundry allowance not exceeding 300 pesos per month. Employees Achievement Awards for length of service or safety achievement, which must be in the form of a tangible personal property other than cash or gift certificate, with annual monetary value not exceeding 10,000 pesos received by the employee under an established written plan which does not discriminate in favor of highly paid employees. Gifts given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations not exceeding 5,000 pesos per annum. Daily meal allowance for overtime work and night graveyard shift not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage on a per region basis. Benefits received by an employee by virtue of a collective bargaining agreement and productivity incentive schemes provided that the total annual monetary value received from both CBA and productivity incentive schemes combined do not exceed 10,000 pesos per employee per taxable year. All other benefits given by employers which are not included in the above remuneration shall not be considered as de minimis benefits and hence shall be subject to income tax as well as withholding tax on compensation. The amount of de minimis benefits conforming to the prescribed ceiling shall not be considered in determining the 90,000 peso ceiling of other benefits excluded from gross income, provided that the excess of the de minimis benefits over their respective ceiling shall be considered as part of other benefits and the employee receiving it will be subject to tax only on the excess over the 90,000 peso ceiling. So, ibig sabihin, yung de minimis benefits, kung meron ito hindi naman mandated yung isang employer, yun ay kung may ibinibigay lang ng employer. So, yung de minimis benefits, hindi natin yan isinasama doon sa 13th month pay and other benefits na 90,000, no? Yung halimbawa, may na-meet niya yung ceiling, hindi yun isinasama doon sa total ng 90,000 na other benefits, no? Pero kung ikaw ay kung merong binibigay na de minimis benefits yung isang employer, halimbawa is yung uniform allowance. May threshold tayo doon na 6,000 pesos, no? So kung ang uniform allowance is umabot doon sa 7,000, since ang de minimis benefits natin is equivalent lang sa 6,000, yung 6,000 hindi talaga siya taxable, exempt siya kasi nga de minimis benefits siya. Yung 1,000 pwede mo siyang isama doon sa 13th month pay and other benefits at hindi siya magiging taxable kung hindi pa siya mag-excess doon sa 90,000 pesos na ceiling. Pero kung yung 13th month pay and other benefits puno na, no? Kumbaga lalagpas na doon sa 90,000. Yung 1,000 na excess na yan ay magiging taxable na. Revenue Memorandum Circular Number 46-2013, benefits under collective negotiations agreement granted to government employees, organizations duly approved, accredited by the Civil Service Commission is included in the other benefits under Section 32B-7E of the Tax Code of 1997. It is exempt from income tax and withholding tax, provided that the CNA benefits when added to the 13th month pay and other benefits shall not exceed that 90,000 threshold. So, ibig sabihin, yung CNA na nare-receive ng mga government employees, yun ay kasama doon sa 90,000 pesos and 13th month pay and other benefits. So, kung excess na siya, no, magiging taxable na rin.